Hi Nancy, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and this is the Kenmore 589. And since I'm going to do a test on her, and since it's already in your shopping cart, I'm going to go ahead and do our usual final test and tutorial video, which we do for each machine that we sell. Basically, we go over the operation of the machine and show you how to thread her up, how to wind the bobbin, and everything that you need to know to get going on your machine. And we'll start by plugging her in. This three-pronged plug plugs in on the back of the machine, right here below the motor. And one cord goes to the power, and the other cord, of course, goes to the foot control. And let's see, let's give her a little run. Let's see how, okay. You'll find your bobbin in the bobbin case, which is down here below the hand wheel. I mean below the slide plate. This is your bobbin winder. When you wind the bobbin, you just flip it up until the rubber tire contacts the hand wheel. And then as you run the machine, it will spin the bobbin winder. To wind the bobbin, there's a thread spool on the back. Put your spool on the thread spool, go between the discs of this tensioner for the bobbin winder, and put the thread through the little hole in the side of the bobbin, and usually hold it in place and put a few wraps on it. You can just put it on the bobbin winder and hold the end that little tail, whatever is more convenient. And let's see, which way does this one turn? This one turns in the reverse of your regular Singer modern sewing machines. Most of those turn towards you. This one turns away from you. So your bobbin is going to wind in the opposite direction as well. So you're going to want the thread coming on. Let's see. Over the back of the bobbin. And the bobbin is going to turn in a counterclockwise direction. Okay, to declutch your machine so that the hand wheel can spin the bobbin winder without making the whole machine cycle, turn the knob in the center of the hand wheel towards you. How much? been a while since I worked on this one. But I think it declutches in this direction. Once I go through this again and get it working right, you're going to turn this knob in the center of the hand wheel towards you until it hits its stop, half a turn or so. And then the hand wheel can spin without making the whole machine go. So the machine is going to run now until I fix that. Oops. Flip the bobbin winder up until the rubber tire comes in contact with the hand wheel, and you're ready to wind a bobbin. Of course, with this system, you can also wind the bobbin while you sew. But that should be more than plenty for our demonstration. Flip your bobbin winder down, take your bobbin off, and re-clutch your machine by tightening the knob. To put your bobbin in the bobbin case with the thread coming off the top in this direction, drop it into the bobbin case, and then guide your thread into this slot on the side, kind of an L-shaped slot. Then straight across to the other side of this nose here, and there's a notch there. You'll be able to slip it under between the two plates, which are your lower tension. So put your thread from the slot all the way across, and just pull it forward until it clicks into place between those two plates. And now you'll feel a little bit of drag on your thread. There. Okay, yeah. Now to take the bobbin out again, you press this button down and your bobbin case will pull out. We'll just leave the thread dangling loose in there for now. To thread the machine, put your spool on the spool pin. Go straight across to this thread guide on the front here. Over to this thread guide here. Down to the notch at the bottom of your upper tension assembly. There's a notch down here. Go into the notch, and then just pull up, and that will catch the check spring in there. Then you want to go through the take-up lever from the back of the machine towards the front. Down to the thread guide on the needle clamp. And through the eye of the needle from the left to the right. And it's always good to cut a fresh end on your thread, so it's not splayed out. Pushes through the little hole a lot easier. Now, holding your needle thread loosely, you're going to turn your hand wheel one full revolution away from you in a clockwise direction. And the needle will take the thread down, where the hook will pick it up and wrap it around the bobbin and bring up your lower thread. So here we go. There's your lower thread. Put your thread between the toes of the presser foot and towards the back of the machine, and you're set. Let's see. We'll sew some denim here. Put your fabric under the presser foot. Lower the presser foot using the lever on the back of the machine here. And we're going to set our stitch length here from the bottom line on the scale here, going up. Your stitches are going to get longer and longer and longer and longer till your longest stitches are all the way at the top. From that line going down, your stitches will get longer and longer and longer, but in reverse. So we're going to set it at about 2. That would be about ballpark. And away we go. Let's take a look at that bottom stitch. Yeah, that's pretty well balanced. This is your upper tension. Wait. Yeah, this is the tension adjustment for your upper tension. And it's pretty obvious. It says loose and tight. You just move the lever up or down until your stitch looks good on the top and the bottom, well balanced. Let's see, is there anything else? When you're not using your machine, you should put something between the motor and the machine to keep the rubber pulley that drives the rubber motor pulley from contacting the hand wheel, because if it sits in one place for a long time, it will develop a lump in that spot, a little dip actually, and every time you run your machine, it'll go lump, 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 lump. But if you put something between the two so it's not in contact, then that won't happen. Then let's see. Leather. I think that I'll just try sewing a couple layers of leather with a regular needle. When you're sewing leather, you'll want to use a leather needle. It makes a... Oh yeah, I'm sure you know all about leather needles. Just makes a stronger stitch if you use a leather needle for leather. And let's see, leather. This one is split leather. Let's see if I have should have a piece of finished leather here somewhere. Seems like I just saw one. Well, I guess it's just going to have to be split leather. Split leather's probably at least twice as thick as what you're sewing, but we'll see how it does. You can tell by the flop how thick it is. Let's see, we'll choose a long stitch length, and we'll take it slow. See how it does. Oh, no problem. So two layers of split leather. I do wish I could find that finished leather, so there it is. Okay. There we go. Oop, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Yeah, no problem. It's going to work great for you. So Nancy, I hope that that's all that you need to know about this machine. So let us know. We'll get her packed up for you and send her on out.